Hi, TJ Gaushas here, Botguru.net and SocialSystemElite.com, and I wanted to show you the new and improved licensing admin panel. Now this comes with all files ready to go for the latest PHP, tested up to PHP version 7.3.11. Now, for this to run, you go ahead and enable it on your server, place the files overwriting your existing, and log in as normal. So I'm going to go ahead and log in here real quick. And first thing you'll see is I've added some new things here to jazz things up. So you've got additional things up here at the top for statistics. You also have a breakdown of all your products right here and number of keys sold overall, along with how many for each one. And that's just a little pie chart, just some little snazzy stuff to add into your admin panel. You can manage your products like normal, your licenses, all that lovely stuff, activity logs, payment logs, the whole 9 yards. None of them will pop errors. None of them will log errors to an error file on your server, nothing. The additional things I have added, such as manage settings, manage staff, and get response, we'll start with manage settings, which is also over to the left underneath site settings, manage settings. Here you can choose whether or not you want to use the server mail function, the mail parentheses, server-side mail function to send your emails, or if you want to use SMTP to send your emails via a third-party SMT service. I do recommend that. It seems to work very well for inboxing. I personally am using Gmail and I inbox every time. If you're doing higher volume than 500 licenses a day or 500 emails a day, don't use Gmail unless you've got their G Suite, which allows for more outbound emails. So this is my setup, and I just demonstrated and showed examples for Gmail here, but again, you can use whatever SMTP service you'd like. The WordPress plugin down here is a separate PHP file that will also be included. And this file, when a new license comes into the system, will automatically create a WordPress user account if you fill this in. All you have to do is upload the file that you're sent to the root of your WordPress site, and it will automatically port all the details. You just include the URL here, HTTPS or HTTP. You should be using HTTPS. If you need to know more about setting that up and free ways of doing so, just let me know. Cloudflare is a really good one for it, and it's what I use personally. But don't forget, when you set up your licensing with the UbotLocker system on your desktop to wrap the exe and create the 2 DLL files, you use the non-secure link. So you remove the S from it. Otherwise, you'll create yourself a whole bunch of different problems, and you just really don't need that headache. So you set all this up for your mail settings and creating WordPress accounts on the fly. The next thing I want to talk about is the autoresponder, GetResponse. Now, GetResponse is an autoresponder service, but this can be modified for other autoresponder services. And what you would do is you would add new, and you would select your product. Say I want to give Pure Questions software to someone that signs up to a list name on GetResponse. I just enter in my list name here and add list association. After doing so, it'll go ahead and list it over here, and it will issue that product key for anybody that signs up to that particular list. Say you're doing a free giveaway or free trial or what have you, you can do so. Underneath Tools, Mass Marketing, I've gone ahead and updated this and double checked it, made sure it all works and it's working correctly. Who is working as well. Listing emails for different products is working. All the logs are working properly as well. Underneath Manage Staff, so let's look at all staff real quick. Super Admin, which is your account, cannot be deleted. Anybody marked as a super admin cannot be deleted. And it's safeguarded in the files. Even if a staff member was to go directly to the link with that staff member's ID number, it will deny them. You can go ahead and edit moderators. You could change them to an admin or super admin, or leave them as moderator, change their username, email. And this is the encrypted password, but you can go ahead and change it, update, and when you go back, it will automatically have the encrypted password. So it automatically encrypts the passwords in the database, and you can delete them as well just by hitting the delete button, clicking OK. Staff is very simple, even adding new, clicking on add new from here or at the top, username, password, email, and then set their status here. Super admins and admins have access to everything within your admin panel. What you see is everything that they get access to. Moderators, on the other hand, I'll just create a test here, test at Botguru, add that staff member. Let me go ahead and log out and log back in. Staff only has access to manage licenses. So we see here all licenses and add license. And underneath their dashboard, they've got the home area, and they've also got the account area. All the statistics across the top, the little chart on the home area, all that's been removed. Staff, as moderator, can only manage licenses. And it also logs to the logs when a moderator gives out a license. It logs when done so as well. Underneath the settings here from test, they can go ahead and update their email or change their password, and it will change it accordingly within the database. Let me log out of this and go back to the admin here. Excuse my loud typing. I stab these keys like no other. Bundles. All bundles. I'll list all bundles here real quick before I go into the ad. Now right here it will show you all bundles. It'll just show a few lines here, but you can scroll through to see what products you've got bundled underneath that one name. A bundle name is technically a product name. So say over in Warrior Plus or JVZoo, your product name is going to be the same as your bundle name. So when that bundle name comes in, it will go ahead and issue the products that you've selected here, starting at the top with Bundle 1. And you can select up to 10 different products that can be bundled and given away. So for instance, this one I had 3 of them, but let's say I want to take away one. I just click that and put it back to select one. And I hit update. And we see there's only 2 products there. Now mind you, this is closed as well. So say your deal was only running for a week. Well, you can go ahead, come in here, select it to close, and it won't issue that bundle anymore to anybody. So let's go ahead and click edit again, and we're going to set this to active, and we're going to select a couple more of them down here just to get an idea how these are set up. So now I've got 5 of them listed. Click update, and we see now that it's active. And we're showing 5 of them here, and we can go ahead and scroll down further if need be to see even more of them if we've got more in here. And I edited in this text area here just because it's a lot cleaner, and this way it doesn't span all the way down the page when you got like 10 of them in there. You can also go ahead and delete them as well. So we go ahead, click delete, and it's gone. Just add a new one, test bundle, active or closed, add at least 1 or 2 products in here for a bundle, and click add association. Very easy, very simple, and you can also do a search here as well for doing that. So I'm going to go into licenses real quick. Actually, I'll go into projects real quick. Okay, so here under projects, we've got our API key, version, the updates URL, all your normal list, your stuff here. Activations, number of times activated, number of resets allowed, number of licenses for each that's been created, and the total revenue per product that you've earned. So yeah, it records your revenue per product here. You can go ahead and run live searches on the product name of, or I'm sorry, not live searches, but you can run searches on the product name here. So say we're looking for anything with QU for questions, I can click run search and it pops up with my only product that's got QU in it, and it looks for it in the product name or project name. Now when you go underneath edit or when adding a new project, you will also have the option to set the download URL, and this is going to be denoted in your email details as parentheses download URL parentheses or percent download URL percent. This way you can echo that out in the email along with notes for this project optional. If you list HTML here, it will go ahead and take that HTML, and for the WordPress plugin to show licenses within your members area of your WordPress site, it will go ahead and echo this details along with the number of resets they have allowed, the download URL link, your projects, anything that's associated to their email address for licenses will go ahead and mirror on the products page inside your members area using the Botguru WordPress plugin. So those notes will show up over there. Again, down here, this kind of shows you a little bit how it's set up. Here's the download URL right here, email, key, and that's how you would go ahead and show them within your emails. Same with project name up here. And you can go ahead and format that however you'd like and go ahead and do so. That's the exact same underneath adding a project. So if I go to add project, same thing, update URL here, download URL. Version numbers, I use solid numbers. I don't use decimals. I've found that decimals can sometimes have issues. So I go from version 1 to version 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. So I use the whole number for version numbers inside admin panels. Underneath licenses, let me just go over to licenses real quick on, let's go to add license first. So we put in the licensee name, email, select what product or product key is already going to be populated, number of activations, number of allowed resets. I usually do no more than 2 so that licenses don't get abused. This will automatically reset internally on the accounts every 30 days. So during a 30-day period, how many times are you going to allow them to reset their licenses so that they can be installed on new machines? Is it a trial? Mark this if it's a trial. You can set the number of days here, and secondary you can also set the number of runs. If I'm setting it up for say 35 days because it's a 30-day subscription, and that's how I personally set my things up, I'll put 35 here for a 35-day description, and the number of runs, I don't care how many times they run the software, so I'll set it to the maximum right there. This is actually the maximum number for the table column in the database for you techies out there. I could have just listed this as unlimited, but I understand what it is, so now I'm telling you. Go ahead, set that for unlimited number of runs, or you can limit the number of runs to say 10 in 35 days, and they will either, one, be able to run it 10 different times, opening it up, or they will be able to run it 35 days. What to do after the trial ends? Well, we want to disable the license or no updates or delete the license. I usually go with disable license because when the subscription comes in, it should renew this. Okay? Again, it should renew this so that it doesn't disable the license when the subscription comes in. Again, also enable. Either enable, no updates, or disable. That's pretty straightforward. That hasn't changed in the licensing system. Now, underneath all licenses, here you're going to see, you know, the different columns and what they are. You can no longer sort by column, and pagination has been added down here at the bottom, so you can go ahead and go to the next pages, click next for the next page, or go to the last page, or jump to it here. reset all licenses, clear all resets. You can do that as well. Edit, delete, click this to email it to them, and it will use your SMTP or the server-side mail function, whichever you chose on your settings. And here we can look in the email address, name, or key to search these individuals. So if I typed in TJ and I hit search, I would come up with any that has TJ in the key, the name, or the email address. And it would list all of them all paginated as well. This same pagination is added to bundles, projects, and staff, as well as all of your activity logs, activations, payment logs. Anywhere that has large amounts of data is going to have pagination, and you then can also click on clear search and it'll go back to normal without the search. So hopefully I've been able to give you a really in-depth rundown of what the system has to offer. And this will be available very soon for you to pick up. So if it's something that you're interested in, make sure to comment where you see this video, and I will definitely be getting in touch with you when this goes live. Thank you.